Welcome to today's podcast. A little shorter than usual because it's Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday is something that we do for RadioU, where we're the RIOT on RadioU. So you'll hear about supporting RadioU is supporting our RIOT podcast. So consider helping out today through RadioU.com.
Not difficult.
In fact, we always try to make it as easy as possible.
So today in the podcast, you're going to hear about Beat Saber, COVID vaccines, lessons learned from fights at gas stations.
Mm-hmm. A lot of lessons learned.
Yeah, we really picked up a few really important things in that. The Price is Right, new protein options, top entertainment franchises, and the Rockefeller Christmas tree.
Ah, it's a nice list.
Yep, it's going to be a great podcast. So we hope that you guys enjoy it. Nikki and I are going to take our post-show nap as we always do.
Especially on a Giving Tuesday.
Usually 3 to 4 hours, and then we're ready to get right back at it.
That does sound nice, doesn't it?
It does.
So check out RadioU.com to help us on Giving Tuesday. Text and say hello, 877-2-RADIO-U. Put your podcast listener, and make sure to put your name on the text message.
That's all I got.
Bye.
Bye.
The riot isn't all bad, but this is the worst of the riot. Radio U.
I mean, until 2020, I've never been able to say, like, there was just that one time I had 2 sick days in a row. And I'm never topping this year, ever.
No, you're never, ever able to.
I had 4 sick weeks in a row. So, I mean,
hey, you work through them. It's fine. No one noticed.
So I will say one of the things that came back to me, it's been in the last 2 days. So it technically was not a quarantine quandary good time. It's been the last 2 day things. But Nikki, I'm back on Beat Saber.
The game?
Yeah.
Now is that because it feels like many weeks ago, but you got the newest Oculus, the virtual reality?
I told Nikki if I got COVID, I was getting an Oculus. And you
got that at the beginning, and then at the end, you got the PlayStation. It's like he just needed it.
It's embarrassing.
But Beat Saber is an amazing game. And I know they have different variations at this point, but it started off as a VR game, like for a headset.
I can tell you right now, Nikki, that if I brought in my Oculus Quest and I had you play Tetris and I had you play Beat Saber, it would be over.
I'd be hooked.
You wouldn't even, it would be on your way home. You would go pick up an Oculus Quest.
So wait, though, the first one I thought it wasn't called Tetris, but it was like Tetris.
It's called Tetris Effect.
Tetris Effect? Okay.
That's crazy.
Are you going to bring it in or?
Oh, I don't know, Nikki. I feel that if I do that,
something?
Well, here's the question you want to ask yourself is, do you want to buy one?
Not really.
Then I won't bring it in.
I think I can handle it.
Oh,
I think I could.
On. Really? Do you remember, was it last year or was it 2 years ago where we spent, I don't even know how many weeks talking about what a responsible adult you are. And then there was one morning in particular, Nikki starts out, I'm not getting a Switch. I'm not getting a Switch. I'm not getting a Switch. And then what happened?
But what does that say about me when that's the only example you can give? That's the only time I caved. That was the only time for a big purchase.
AirPod Pro Extremes.
Oh, no. So it's my 4th pair of AirPods. What's the big deal? It's the other ones. That's medical. I can't get the other one to fit well in my ear.
That's medical.
It's medical.
It's
I was going to see my insurance. I'm going to run it through my insurance just to see what they say. Not really, but
I've got to. I got to listen to the podcast.
It's for work.
It's for work.
Yes, it is. Thank you. So that one doesn't work. I am interested in trying it, though. I think it'd be neat to see Beat Saber. Because I think I played the first one. Didn't you bring it in? We tried that.
It's still the same. Yeah, we had the Oculus Rift.
But this one is wireless.
It's completely wireless.
I would think that would take it next level to do a game.
I feel like that's part of what makes it dangerous. I could say to you, hey, Nikki, just for this much money, you don't need anything else. And you would be like, hey, Eric.
What do you think?
I could be playing Beat Saber. It's like exercise.
Oh my gosh, it is exercise at that point.
Then it would be then it's an investment in myself.
Well, Eli just texted. Thank you, Eli. Said I bought Tetris Effect because of Obi. Absolutely no regrets. Look at you.
Isn't it, dude? Eli, I think Eli is one of our friends out there that he got a Quest 2 as well. Mm-hmm. And Tetris Effect is nuts. It's so fun.
Can you play it outside of VR? Is it just a normal version?
Actually, there is. You can play it because you're really just playing Tetris, but you're playing it in virtual reality. And I kept hearing people talk about it, and I was like, shut up, it's Tetris. Like, my I don't even have a watch, and it still plays Tetris. My wrist plays Tetris. And when I played the demo, I was like, oh, I see now.
Well, if you bring it in, you bring it, but at least you're back to using your Oculus.
Yes, I finally, to me, the fact that yesterday I fired it up, I was like, I must be feeling better because I was willing to do this. Because up until then, I bought an Oculus thinking I would use it and barely touched it.
Well, then you were really sick.
Yes.
And believe it or not, guys, virtual reality and being sick doesn't really work well together, does it? We found a big flaw.
When you feel like your head is throbbing and you're like, here, I'll just strap this thing onto my head.
Unless you can do a VR doctor visit, there's no other way you were using that then.
You don't want it.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
So I'm dealing off of two working theories here. A lot of times, Nikki and I, we spend a lot of time looking at the news. And I feel like often it is an opportunity for us to learn from the mistakes of others.
Sure.
So, Nikki, well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you the story, and then I'll tell you two of the things that I think that we can learn from this, okay? It's in Florida. Lauderhill.
Is that one? No, season.
It's the drain. Stay out of the drain.
We have a lot of lovely RadioU Florida listeners, so.
We got two guys in South Florida. Don't know what started. One of the men opened the door for the other.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. I don't know why.
Some people get mad with it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why either, but.
Okay. All right. That's a whole other discussion.
It is.
So open the door. One of the guys gets mad. They start fighting. And I mean like fist fighting. In the middle of this, one of the men loses his pants.
Maybe they were lower to begin with.
Okay. Now, this is a side note. I wasn't going to go here, but Nikki, we're fighting. Your pants fall down.
I would stop fighting.
It feels like the end of the fight.
It does, doesn't it? Like,
it does.
Actually, I feel like it brings a bit of humor into it. Like, maybe we can laugh it off and just be like, oh, let's not fight anymore.
Like, it just, to me, it just feels like,
pants.
you know what? Pants are down, party foul, fight's over.
Hug it out.
Maybe not. We'll pull the pants up and then hug it out.
Up and then hug it out.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, there's that.
Is that not what happened in this case?
No. They just really, really keep going. There's video if you want to see it, but there's really nothing like two grown men, larger than maybe average, or in the United States, maybe just average. Fighting at 2 a.m. near the hot dogs.
Oh, gosh, it gets worse.
Yeah.
See, we watch a lot of fighting videos of like the public freak out ones on Reddit forums, but when your pants fall down, then you're on a whole different freak out public forum with the fighting. So you should have just stopped.
Okay. So here's the two things I think we can learn. I feel like the first one is probably we can't have nice things.
Is that the biggest one?
Wawa is nice.
Oh, is that where it was? You didn't even say that.
I didn't say it?
You didn't even say it was at a Wawa. That's a gas station. That's like home base for us, guys. We like Wawas.
We can't have nice things.
No.
That's one.
And you got to ruin it.
Here's what I'm starting to think. I think we need winter.
But in Florida, that's not happening.
I know. And I think that might be the problem. I think you need winter to somehow flush something out. I don't know what it is. It kills the snakes, and maybe it kills something inside all of us. So when you don't have the cold, you end up with Everglades full of snakes, and you end up pantsless fighting at Wawa at 2 a.m.
Well, I also want to throw in, maybe we don't need to be out at 2 a.m. at Wawa's.
Well, we don't know. Maybe they're delivery drivers. Maybe they got a truck full of PlayStation 5s, Nikki.
I don't think so.
We need them out there. They're fighting the good fight.
We need them delivering. I don't know.
All right. The lessons aren't clear, but I feel like there's something to learn here.
Oh, no, I think some of the lessons are pretty clear.
You saw them?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Lesson number 4. Buy a belt.
Well, just have pants that fit. Maybe they lost weight.
I don't think that's it.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
Hey, yesterday, the head guy at Operation Warp Speed, which sounds so much cooler than it is, but then it's also kind of cool.
Does it? What is that?
Well, I was hoping that it was a move to bring like some kind of Star Trek thing back that I would actually like.
Yeah.
It's not that.
It's not that. Okay.
No, Operation Warp Speed is the name of what they're doing to get the coronavirus vaccine to where everybody can have it.
Flying it and everything.
Yeah, and so they're saying that by June of next year, if you want the vaccine, you will have been able to get it.
By June of next year?
By June of next year. So, Nikki, we found out Hamilton's opening in July.
I was going to say, are we looking at next June? Is that going to be when they're expecting or planning on things kind of opening back up?
Yeah. So everybody, it's significant because a lot of people have been wondering, because I mean, I've heard is like, oh, some of you could get the vaccine as early as this Christmas. I saw a report yesterday that obese people will be moved to the front of the line because they're the most at risk. And I was like, yeah, fatties, which is me.
I was like, report.
I did.
See that?
I really did.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
great. So what? You're supposed to be offended if you go to your doctor and they're like, hey,
you need it.
You need like, is that their way of talking to you about your weight?
Like, that's weird. I went to my doctor and got it first.
What does
they
that
told
mean?
Me I didn't have to wait.
And they didn't say anything about my weight, but they just said that it was needed.
That's for the next visit.
Oh, well, that's, why did you have to add that part to it? Why did we have to know about that?
I don't know.
You're trying to lose weight and it's just not fast enough.
So they're saying that first doses will be out at the end of December in the U.S. and that, again, if you want it, you will have been able to get it by the end of June of next year.
See, I, like you, have been hearing a lot about, it will start by the end of this month, technically.
Yes.
But then it's really the question of, for everybody else, like for the mass amount of the public, when will it be available to us?
I done got my shot.
Well, no, you just got COVID. So you had COVID. But the question we asked yesterday is, since
Nikki, I'm not giving away my shot.
So because you had COVID already, but no one knows yet, like, will you be free from it forever? Or do you have to also still get a shot too?
I don't know.
You don't know. You have to ask.
Maybe it depends on how fat I am come June.
Well, why don't they just ask us and talk to us in January when we're done with our Christmas weight?
And there's Christmas donuts in there right now.
I know. You're like, guys, we could still gain more weight by the end of the year.
Get me to the front of the line.
Riot Podcast, RadioU.
Something that is significantly different between RadioU and Pluto TV. We're non-commercial. They play a ton of commercials every 3 minutes.
Is it the same one? I haven't watched Pluto before,
yes,
but I know
basically.
A lot of people. For most streaming companies, it's always the same couple of commercials that they have, and that's
over
it.
And over.
Over and over.
I downloaded the Pluto TV app and watched. There's a Mystery Science Theater and a Riff Tracks channel. And so I watched those. But they've added another channel, Nikki, that honestly, I mean, it's been, I don't know when's the last time I opened the Pluto TV app, but today might be a day. They just added a Price is Right channel.
Oh, did they? What a weird thing.
It is running episodes of The Price is Right from all throughout its history.
So
like, you could tune in and find an old
one?
Price is Right.
With, who's the guy who runs it now or hosts it?
Well, it was Bob Barker. And then
Drew Carey.
So
are you talking even goes back to the Bob Barker guy?
Oh, yeah. I think there was a guy before that.
There was?
I think so. Like, I think old school. I don't know what his name was, but
we don't know all that, but we think so.
Yeah. No, for real. So that's the word, Nikki. Price is Right on Pluto. That means that, like, for me, when I was little and I was sick, I would stay home with my grandma and we would watch Price is Right. I could go home right now and just have some Price is Right comfort food. My grandma's not here anymore, but you know what? I could sit there and watch it. Think about Grandma, have some macaroni and cheese.
That's what he would eat, mac and cheese with
Grandma would make me mac and cheese.
Aww.
We would watch Pluto. No, not Pluto. We would watch Price is Right.
I could say, wow, it's been really old then, has it?
Well, your grandma's really keeping up with the times.
Yeah, I guess. All right, well, if you're interested in a marathon of sorts.
But how cool would it be to watch? I love The Price is Right. I mean, I never watch it, but, it's there. And this would be a chance for you to watch it. But, like, what was, like, I don't know, what toothpaste in 1978? Like, they're running an old episode. That'd be kind of interesting to watch.
I guess.
No, you're not feeling it.
Probably not.
I think I could see me doing that. Sometimes when I'm playing games, I'll run something in the background. like a second screen experience.
Do you remember we had this band we played a long time ago on Radio U, and one of the guys made it on to Price is Right.
Yes.
And I think he won something.
He did.
And it basically
furniture.
It broke the band apart because people only talked to him about being on Price is Right.
Is that true?
And they didn't want to talk. Like, no one was asking any of the other band members, and it became like a sore subject because this guy got on there.
I actually didn't know that.
Drama. It was a lot of drama. Well, I mean, it was something that the band became known for, and the rest of the guys just weren't having it.
It was worth it.
But the guy, he got some furniture out of it.
Yeah, because that's what I want. Furniture.
I know you would have kind of wanted a car instead, but at least he won something.
At least he won something.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on Radio U.
I don't feel like it's super often. I know that Nikki and I talk about food a lot on the show, but it's not very... Well,
yes.
I don't ever see food very often where I'm just like, oh, I want it right now. Right now. Right now. Most of the time I say that, but I'm pretty calm about it. This is not the case with this Chipotle smoked brisket.
Does it actually look good to you? I think it does. I like a smoked brisket.
Mouth-watering.
You do? This will work for you?
I don't understand what it is about this brisket where I'm just like, I want that.
I just worry because sometimes for me, I don't like all the flavorings that Chipotle puts on their products, their protein options, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm curious how it would end up tasting. But a smoked brisket is delicious, and that's what they're testing as a new protein choice.
So give me an example of a protein from Chipotle that you feel like the spice ruins it.
I don't like any of the other stuff.
Really?
I don't.
Nothing?
I don't think I do. There's something about, like the steak one, there's something on there that I just don't like as much.
Okay.
And if I could just have a burrito with the rice and some corn, I'd call it a day if I could. That's all I want.
For $9, Nikki would like a burrito with rice and corn. Nikki, I'll make you one every day for $9 a piece.
And I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth, so I still pick a chicken or a steak, but I am not happy with it. I feel like it ruins the blandness of the other flavors, but smoked brisket would be one I would try.
Did you say it ruins the blandness?
So just the rice and the corn. That's it. Maybe a little sour cream or a little cheese or something. That's it.
This is just another time, like in our lives, where I just don't get you at all.
I also don't like the
I am
fajita
looking
veggies.
for something to ruin the blandness. I want it to be flavorful.
And I normally prefer something that's flavorful. I just don't like their selection of flavors.
Okay.
But we'll have to figure out if this one does well enough, if it'll actually go nationwide.
Yeah, well, they're testing it, and dude, it's hit me. It's going to be in 64 restaurants in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Sacramento, California.
So they're testing a smoked brisket, which they're saying they've smoked for 16 hours. Oh, here it is. A unique blend of spices. Grill seared.
Well, of course it's going to have some spices.
They said a unique.
Like a generic, seasoned with
blend?
a generic blend of spices.
No,
I'm sure that's what they're going to say.
They put unique for a reason. I want to know what makes it unique. And then they're saying they're finishing it with a sauce made with Mexican peppers.
I'd try it. I'll just tell you, whatever they've done to this photo, it's getting me.
It looks good.
It is getting me. I feel like I can taste it already, which is ridiculous.
If you're in Cincinnati or Sacramento and you try it out, let us know if you like it. But otherwise, they're seeing how it'll do, if it will join a limited time menu or maybe become a permanent fixture at Chipotle's.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, right in front of me here, I have the results of a survey that was conducted by a company called NRG. Mm-hmm. Now, it's being reported in Variety. I say that because it's not a throwaway study. The NRG talked to 350,000 individuals, about 700 different entertainment franchises, basically trying to decide not just which ones are worth the most money, but as far as the public's concerned, which ones do they like the most? Which ones matter? You know, what's the stuff that they're really looking forward to? And I have the results of that list. Now, I will tell you, I spoke to NRG last year. I did remove the Riot from the running because I felt very bad about the fact that we were constantly
winning.
Yeah. It's like same thing with Sexiest Man Alive. I got a call about that yesterday. Took my name right out of that.
It's just not fair, right?
Well, you win too many times. And so you do what you got to do.
You got to let other people win sometimes, too.
So, Nikki, these are the top 5 franchises.
Yeah.
According to NRG. Number 5, Black Panther. Number 4, John Wick.
There it is.
That surprises me a little bit.
It's a franchise.
Well, it is. But, I mean, John Wick is above Spider-Man, Iron Man, Toy Story, Doctor Strange, The Lion King,
the power
Hamilton.
of Keanu. Just the power of it.
All right. Number 3, Stranger Things.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that too. But boy, hasn't it been a long time since we've seen Stranger Things?
It always is. But even now, it's like extra long. But it's always a long time in between them.
All right. Number 2, The Avengers.
Yeah.
And then, okay, you know what? Let me ask you. This, to me, I'm surprised by this. What do you think was the number 1 entertainment franchise according to NRG?
And again, is this all time or just this year?
No. This is just like right now.
Just right
now. So it's not like, well, Avatar made more money than all of it. No, it's not that.
Do I get a hint? I'm just trying to think of what would count that you haven't already mentioned.
This is the way.
This is the way? Oh, I'm too tired. I don't even know.
It's The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
They said The Mandalorian is
the number 1 franchise.
Number 1.
That's you know how John Wick was like the power of Keanu?
Yeah.
This is the power of the little baby Yoda guy.
You know that's right.
I mean, the merchandise for that stuff is everywhere.
They've done a thing, I can't remember when it started, but it's just called Mando Mondays, where they unveil new merch. And I know people that are buying stuff every Monday. So it's working.
It absolutely is.
It's working.
I feel like if you go back before The Mandalorian started, some people were kind of upset when, Disney took over the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Because they really, really tried to market it and make a lot of money out of it and kind of did too much, and during their first starting time. I feel like with The Mandalorian, they found a sweet spot. They can do all that they want, and people are buying it up.
They do seem to have found a little something that's working.
Yep, and you could totally be wanting more episodes of it.
Yep. Well, NRG and the 350,000 people they interviewed agree with you, Nikki.
That's the number 1 right now.
Yeah. Just a couple of other items. Mario Brothers, 14.
14 in the list?
So you think Mario's important, but he's not.
Not right now.
Not right now.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
Radio U.
So let's see. The ongoing concept, Jingle Bell Rock, is about 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
It's a short song.
I'm going to give you 2 playthroughs of Jingle Bell Rock to get a peek at the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, and then you got to go.
Is the tree lit? Like, don't they unveil it around, did they do it around Thanksgiving? Or
No, they will do that later this week.
And this was the tree that was looking sickly, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but remember, all of those trees look like that when they bring them in. They got to spruce them up.
I don't know if it's that bad, is it?
Yes, they just don't normally show you those before pictures, or because this year everyone's looking for anything bad they can possibly repost and say 2020, am I right?
Which is what everybody's been doing about all the trees that look like that. And they need to add the decorations to fill everything in.
So here's the idea. Back in the day, meaning last year, you were able to just show up and hang out. And they said that thousands of people would come and visit the Rockefeller tree every day. Well, now, first off, you can't go to the lighting ceremony.
Oh, yeah. Grant just texted and said that that's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's, to quote Mayor Bill de Blasio, it's not a spectator event as it is in the past. What we do not want and can't have is large crowds of people crowding there.
Oh my gosh, it's like listening to the press conference right there, isn't it?
I was just trying to help.
Yeah,
I'm trying to help.
Some
emphasis,
some power
emotion
to it, sure.
Yeah. So here's the deal: you can
you walk past it and just like not stop or what?
No,
you can't even do that.
If you want to go into Rockefeller Center to see it,
yeah.
Which I mean, maybe you can you can
still walk past,
hang your head out with a guy. The guy see it. But you get a ticket. You have to have a ticket. Mm-hmm. You have 5 minutes.
Well, that's plenty of time.
And if you're not out in 5 minutes, Mayor Bill de Blasio will be there
personally
pick you up and throw you over the barrier.
Line.
Mm-hmm. That last part may not be there, but I'm sure it's true.
Who knows?
I'm sure it's true.
Well, I'm just saying I'm glad I already saw the Rockefeller tree then, because I don't know if this year, if that'll be as fun as it was in the past years.
I'll have to say, there have been a lot of things, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but when they start telling me all the hoops that I have to jump through to do it, I'm just like, you know what? Forget it.
Well, here's the trick, though.
Never mind. Look, I'll look at this picture of last year's tree and pretend.
No, what you need to do with any Christmas stuff is you don't go before Christmas. There's a sweet spot right after Christmas before they turn everything off. That's when you need to go see the Christmas stuff, because that'll be less crowds, less problems, less throwing you over the barriers if that happens. Mm-hmm. So go then. Don't go beforehand.
Well, but it's going to be the same then?
No, it's less, because they're like, oh, Christmas is over. You know, they already would have done it.
Well, Nikki, with your global influence, you've just changed the whole tide.
I've ruined it? Is that it?
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that.
Well, it just depends on where you want to go.
You know what? The only tree I'm visiting this year, probably my tree, at home.
Because you're staying home.
That's right. Just like the mayor and the governor of everything everywhere told me. Just going to...
Oh, they'll be home once they get on a plane and go travel. It's fine. Oh, my gosh. I just love the Christmas season.
Nikki started.
Don't get me started on some of that. Let's, I don't even want to say anything else. It's fine. I mean, I do, but I don't.
That right there, that's the slogan of 2020.
Well, you know, we're all just getting a little frustrated that not everyone's doing as they say.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Nikki wants to sit alone in the corner eating crab legs.